I
Man,
been
I was
going.
looking into those. I read that stuff you sent me on the hate groups,
Uh-huh.
and you're right. There isn't any black hate groups in the country
Mm-mm.
besides the religious extremist one. And even within that sect, the extremist one is separated from the actual. There is a group. They, it's a black group, and it's a. They pride themselves religiously as one of the Israelites,
Yeah.
tribes of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a
Mm-hmm.
sect within that group that's separated that's an extremist, where it's very small, but it's a group of black guys that basically are anti-white, anti-everything, unless you're them. But
What's the
that's
name of the group?
it is. Give me 1 second.
And see, here's the thing about the Israelites. They also they're I guess they are anti-white, but they believe in brown and Asian. So, a
Yeah,
matter of fact, it's funny. I didn't even know. I just popped up on YouTube last night. I guess the fact that we talked about it yesterday, I went to
yes,
YouTube within minutes, and all these groups popped up of what the Hebrew Israelites. And so I started watching, and they do a lot of street stuff, meaning they get on the streets and then they kind of challenge people based upon religion settings or scriptures within the Bible themselves. So, but yeah, I haven't heard about the extremist group separate from them. I think the only one I've heard of
we got the SPLC.
right, right. But even then, though, I was looking up the the SP. So even they're anti-hate. So they're considered ADL and SPLC are considered anti-hate activist groups, not advocated for racial supremacy. They do not advocate for violence. And then you got the ISUPC, which is a more moderate, more controversial group, but they're still religious based. That's the thing about it. They're still religious based. But when you go into the white nationalist groups or supremacy groups,
Oh, there's a
bro,
lot of.
yeah, but they simply just say like violence, intimidations, you know what I'm saying? So I guess my point about that too is really that, when Hoover made the comment about, a messiah and not allowing a black person to unify or electrify or become militant when it comes to society itself, even just to unify or electrify is ridiculous. I mean, so
Yeah.
that pretty much lets me know Martin Luther King and Malcolm X at some point in time were they were basically working for the system because they allowed them to do that at that moment. And then once they, learned the truth of things, I feel like that's when they got killed. But there's a difference between what's extreme for black groups is different extreme for white groups. And that's really the point.
But yeah, yeah.
That's really the point.
We have a community only like 10 miles from us like that. That is an
Yep.
extremist group.